What's up, everybody? Greetings and salutations, people. I hope you're doing well out there. It's good to see ya. Welcome to a wacky Tuesday here on Disruption Network. You can follow along on All Disruption Network. Relocate, hit up Eddie and his staff at 315-335-0516. There's no task that they can't handle. EJAMoving.com is where you can find them online. They can gives you free boxes. They pack up your boxes and they bring them wherever you need to bring them. So it's 315-335-0516. Also, shout out to Joey's at 307. It's 307 Mohawk Street. If you want a good meal this week, call them today for reservations at 315-864-3527, 315eats.com. Shout out to Utica Coffee. WakeTheHellUp.com. You can find them online. Also, shout out to my attorney, Dave Longaretta, who's been keeping me out of trouble for a long, long time. It's the number for legal advice. Give him a call at 315-735-6162. Thank you to Saranac Brewery. Billy the Liquor Guy's got a new book out there called Under Too Long. It's a book about bad guys getting infiltrated by the good guys. You can get it on Amazon or wherever you buy your books. And also, big shout out to Ballsy, ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for a 15% discount. Now, not too long ago, Disruption Network of the Weekly Parlay on with me today, Mr. Rocco Gioco. Rocco, good to see you, bud. Thanks for joining me today. How you doing?
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. See, I'm so excited on this wacky Tuesday to be part of the show. How are you ahead than a day behind?
Yeah, I guess. This damn computer's doing some weird shit to me today, but that's okay. We'll just get through it, and then we'll always have the podcast that we put out there, as we do every Friday on the Weekly Parlay, which is, dude, you guys are killing it. First off, this week GDL went 3-0, and I want to say his record is right around like 15-3 on the teasers, that is. And then
teaser.
And you split the teaser.
I split the teaser thanks to the Buffalo Bills, plus teasing that up. How about that debacle? And then, I got I had a couple of bats blues, and I decided to play the Bills straight up last minute, and I shouldn't have did that. But I did what I did.
Let me ask you, what would you do in that situation? Are you kicking the field goal, or are you trying to go for 4-1?
I'm kicking the field goal 100%, and I'll tell you why. You have the better team, okay? You have the better team. You go to overtime. Scott Norwood. Nobody wanted to see that building go more than Scott Norwood.
Nobody. No.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But, yeah, you know what? It has been a pretty interesting football season so far. I mean, what are we, 6 weeks in? And it has been pretty interesting already. There's been a lot of great close games. Back in week 5, had a bunch of missed field goals. This week, we had a bunch of overtime games. It's been pretty interesting. Don't you agree?
Well, 100%. I agree with you. Last year, remember, there was no quiet down on offense. There was no silent snap counts. There wasn't these crowd-induced false starts. Good to see the crowd back. It's great to see people enjoying football in person and the collegiate level, because I do the collegiate level too, to see
got familiar with each other when you started the Weekly Parlay.
Right.
So I really know nothing about you and your background, and doing and producing your podcast each and every week. I learn more about you each and every week. So give me a little bit about your background and like what you do.
Well, when I was young, my dad said that's all I cared about was sports. What was sports going to do for me? I took a different career path than I should have, so I'm kicking myself. So I got started a little late. But it goes back to 4th grade, Z. 4th grade, I had a friend, and I'm going to call him W.P. Canal for now.
Okay.
And we started betting on every Monday Night Football game a quarter. And, this older guy, and they look at me like I may not know what I'm talking about. And I look over and said, I've been gambling since I could crawl. Well, 4th grade. Okay. So that's where the gaming comes in. It's gotten a little more exciting now. It's a little more mainstream now, like marijuana. Marijuana and gambling are like all legal now. Legals. Back in my day, everything was you had a guy.
I used to get beat by my parents for doing both.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Getting high and gambling. Right. Now it's kind of cool. So anyway, sports has always been a part of my life. All sports. Grew up, playing every kind of sport year round. Just later in my career, when I was in Tampa, I decided that I wanted to start a magazine, a full heat press magazine. And I went to Jim McVeigh, director of the Outback Bowl. You know the name McVeigh, his nephew is the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams. And, I went up to him and I said, Jim, I'm starting this magazine. And he said, he shook his head and said, don't do it. Print is dead. Well, I did it, losing $30,000 later. So a couple years later, I saw Jim and I said, Jim, I should have just gave you 15 and listened to you. I would have saved 15. You would have had 15. So I started that, but coupled with that, started the radio show, Rocket Sports and Entertainment Network in Tampa, and which was interesting because who starts their radio career in the 13th largest radio market in the country? Tampa-based Clearwater St. Pete is number 13.
Wow.
In the television markets. Yeah. So, it was pretty exciting. I started on an ESPN station, ESPN 1040 on Saturday mornings. I started a show and, I packaged up. I owned the content. I owned everything. We produced it and I sold it as friends, BFFs. Yeah. So that's how I've been in sales most of my career for a real job. And been fortunate to work in a number of different industries, Dallas and New England. And I looked at my wife and I said, wow, Jim Nantz makes $9 million. She goes, if you were making $9 million a year, you wouldn't be with me. And I said, no, that's not true. How can you say that? Don't. And I said it with a straight face. So anyway, so it's pretty exciting that, I could have started right out of high school, went to Syracuse University, and the whole story would be different, and I'd be in a different place because I'm self-taught. I have not had a communications class. I have not had, and some people out there are going, yeah, we could tell, not a play-by-play with me, Z, is that we are entertainers. The audience needs to be, whether I'm doing play-by-play, whether I'm doing the weekly parlay, or whatever, or coming on this show, people listen and view to be entertained, and that's what I like to do. It's fun stuff.
It's a win-win for sure. Give me your Mount Rushmore of sports play-by-play guys. Your favorite sports broadcasters.
Howard Cosell.
Yeah.
I would have to put Nance up there.
Jim Nance.
Doc Emmerich.
Doc Emmerich. That's a good one. I like that one.
And I like, who I like, and I like two actually. I like these guys. And I'm going to put a fifth face on Mount Rushmore, or maybe a half and half for these guys. I like Kevin Harlan, and I like born and raised in Schenectady. Yes, Joe Tessitore. So I like those guys. I like listening to obviously hockey. Yeah. Howard Cosell was football, and boxing. Boxing was tremendous. And of course, Doc Emmerich is hockey. Incredible. Of course, the big fight scene at the Odd.
That happened at the Odd.
That was filmed at the Odd.
It was not only filmed, that scene wasn't filmed at the Odd, but that particular incident happened at the Odd, and they depicted that from the Odd. So I actually got to drive the Hanson brothers around a couple times.
Now, Steve Street. He goes, Utica, Rick. I go, right. So it's funny that you said right across the street. Still there. Yeah. Utica. Of course, it looks a little different. We got a little hospital action and
and
the Odd's redone a little bit. And
the Odd doesn't look like 1974 in there anymore. Actually, it's remodeled, and it's a great bar now. It really is. And shout out to the Devils, or the Utica Comets now, who are the Devils affiliate. And they won their very first game on Sunday, so it's good to see them.
They did. They won their first game. I love the fact that they're with New Jersey now. Geographically makes a little more sense. I love that they kept the name, and so good to see when they return home. Mm-hmm. Esh came home, and he's got the great restaurant, and just tremendous what they've done for Utica. And things like that excited me, because when I saw, now here I am in Tampa, we have full credentials to the Tampa Bay Lightning. We're going to all the games, covering all the games. I always had somebody at every game, photographer, a writer, and we went in the locker rooms, and I went quite a bit, as much as I could, and follower of the Lightning. So we followed the AHL quite closely. And, of course, I'm bragging. I think one of the teams left, but New York had 5 AHL teams at one time. I think now there's only 4, but there were 5. And New York has always been the stalwart leader of hockey.
Absolutely.
And they've put some National Hockey League players in the National Hockey League. You see Dustin Brown doing tremendous. He's from Ithaca. I think Eric Cole at one time, Oswego. You got these different players, and then you see Ash had the great career. So Upstate New York is kind of the lost uh, Comets, rocking and rolling in the AHL is keeping our hockey roots.
Which is what really brought the research. Go into the Utica Odd in the middle of June. It's beautiful outside, and it was great. The people from Vancouver, there was a lot of media that came from Vancouver to cover the Comets because it's the Calder Cup. It's a big deal. It's their farm club in the finals, you know, and they were so impressed of the hospitality that we offered here in Utica. They were just blown away and how much those Vancouver people really, really loved what we were doing here in Utica. And it's great to see, man. And now you got all these cool things happening in Utica, and they're building the Nexus Center, which is right next to the Odd. It's going to be a tournament facility. And like you said, man, Rob Ash is really, really...
Another one coming back, you know, donating the money. He could put his $50 million anywhere. Yeah. He brought it back to, you know, Utica. And it's just great to see. And Utica's 27 years. I did business. I traveled for business to 26 different states over a 7-year period. Maybe longer than that, 9 years, I think. And I started meeting people from all over the country. And I always thought that people from the Mohawk Valley were special. I thought we were different in a way. I mean, we I drove through the valley and I started crying. And my wife said to me, and she wasn't my wife at the time, she says, "What's wrong?" I said, "I can't believe this valley is destroyed." I said, "This is, oh my God." From Utica to Little Falls to Amsterdam. I mean, it's just gutted, you know? And I said, "You know what? I'm coming back." And one of the things that brought me back is I see some other people saying, "You know what? We're bringing it back." Like the aforementioned Robert Ash, what they're doing at Bag Square. Just some of the great things that are happening in Utica and the whole Mohawk Valley. We talk about Frankfurt Harbor Fest. I know you wanted me to bring that up. Yep. We pulled that off there. We're going to be doing big things for the Mohawk Valley. So it's very important that I'm continuing my little hobby here, being on the air.
I love
Utica. Man, that's why I said beautiful Utica. I'm in East Utica. I can't believe I walk out of that studio, Z, after I do the weekly parlay, and I'm like, wow, I'm in East Utica. This is awesome. This is home because I grew up in Frankfurt. Right. So Frankfurt and kind of Proctor Park and Frankfurt kind of bled over, you know, Bleecker Street there. And it's fantastic. It's fantastic to be part of this and the weekly parlay. I couldn't be more excited about it, and it's just opened up so many things. Like because now I know you guys, and you know sure. It's cool. You know what I mean? It's cool. Huh?
That's funny. A couple weeks ago, you were talking about all the parties you had at Proctor Park and growing up in Frankfurt. And I'm like, I grew up in East Utica, and all the parties I used to have at the Hilltop in Frankfurt. So it was
I almost fell over.
Frankfurt, I do want to talk about Harbor Fest. You guys pulled off a great event a couple weeks back with the car show and great music. And shout out to GDL for putting it all together and his ties with the Frankfurt community. This is something you guys are looking to do for the future. And talk a little.
I've been happy every day. I'm just happy. I'm happy. I'm back. I feel like I'm with my friends and family.
Yeah.
You know,
you feel rooted.
So I feel rooted. Yeah. And, you know, working with GDL has just been tremendous. I've known him. I knew him when he was a little kid. You know, I've known him for a long time. And, you know, to get back in touch, he used to come on my radio show and handicap horses. Yeah. He used to call in Tampa, and he used to handicap the horses, all the big races. I had him on for the Derby, the Preakness, you know, all the big races, the Belmont. And
were all his picks just as gold as he is today in football? Because I'm telling you, man, the guy is killing it right now.
He's fantastic. He's just a tremendous talent, a tremendous human being. And I said one of the things, I said that, you know, I said to my wife, I said, hey, I said, God, back to upstate New York, and I think one of the big reasons is to work with GDL. Yeah. And I have and different. I mean, not only this doing the weekly parlay, but the Harbor Fest, and we're going to be doing more things together. And It's just tremendous. It's absolutely.
He's like, how come you're not betting any of his picks? Because once I put money on his picks is when I jinx him. I'll jinx him, so I can't.
I know.
I don't want to be
that's what
jinxed him.
happened to
I
me.
want to see him stay hot.
That's what happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I had him post on the Facebook page the other night, Rocco has the Bills, and of course it was a loser. And I haven't been posting my picks. The week before, I was like 5-1. I didn't post anything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, you gotta post them all, Rick, because you're gonna hit them. And I don't know. I just the gambling thing. My dad taught me. I stress, and I think I said it last week. You should never be betting your retirement or betting your rent money or whatever. It's a form, bet what you can. And it's like a foul ball in baseball. A foul ball goes into the stands, and you'll run over people to get the ball and then give it to a little kid. It's the thrill of the hunt. Same thing with gambling. I'm telling you, if I got $20 on a game or 1,000 on a game, I feel the same. Mm-hmm. I feel like perfect. Loved it. I wanted to watch the baseball game, but I hate those teams. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I threw $20 on the over 9.5. $20. They did with the rotation, and now you got Charlie Morton, and I think Scherzer looks tired to me.
Yeah,
in the face,
mm-hmm.
He does. I don't know why. And it's nice he came in and got the close, but I don't think he didn't look like he had much after that. So they moved him off the game 2, and of course they lost. Mm-hmm. So. It's a big game. Going to be a big game this afternoon.
The Red Sox Astros at 8:00 tonight on Fox.
8:00 tonight. Okay, good. So that I got a couple things to watch. So that'll be nice. In the American League when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah, and now they switched.
So, but it's going to be an interesting series. 4 very good teams, and I think at this point it's anybody's series.
Yeah. And, I want to back up a little bit, talk about the Yankees really quick. What do you think the Yankees should do? Would you keep Boone or would you fire him?
It's time for a change.
Yeah.
Go with some unknown. I don't like the retreads. I'm not a big retread fan. One of my jokes on my show was like Rex Ryan. Resume here. You haven't won anywhere. We got your number. We'll be in touch. That would be my interview. Okay. And I just don't understand why they keep hiring these retreads. Okay. And, cash on, because the boneheaded pulling of Blake Snell last year in Game 6 of the World Series.
Yeah.
Then he did it again this year. He pulled McHugh after 18 pitches. Mm-hmm. I mean, you see what the Giants did? Logan Webb? Yeah, 7 innings the kid went. They ended up losing the game, but the Logan Webb, phenomenal. When someone's I think managing the playoffs in baseball is different than the regular season, and there's certain managers can do it. Do you know there's only 90 some odd managers? I looked this stat up. There's 90 different managers, 92, maybe 90, a little over 90 different managers that have won the World Series. And there's only 25 that have done it multiple times, 2 or more.
Huh. Interesting fact.
And it's like that sabermetrics bullshit, whatever it is, and wipe your rear end with it.
Yeah, it's
and throw it out in the playoffs. If you use it during the regular season, whatever, I'm not a big fan of it. But these stupid shifts, now they shift for everybody. Now it looks it's 2 things in sports.